Welcome back to everyone as our viewership on Next Level Refs. We've got rid of the Queenslanders this week. They're out fishing, I believe. So we've got people south of the border. Strebre in Wollongong, Benny in Canberra. Welcome back, mate.
Yeah, hello Benny. How are you today, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Look, let's get straight into it. We've got a clip of about 30 odd seconds. New South Wales NPL. We've got St George playing in the red and white, as you can see here, and the Central Coast Mariners, not the A-League team, of course, in the gold jerseys. Context is the Mariners have just lost possession, and St George have regained it, moving from left to right. So here we go. All right, so we're coming forward now. We'll talk through it.
Yeah, Benny. Here we see a ball. Both teams lose possession of the ball a couple of times, and it ends up with number 14 of the red team, and as he swivels out of a tackle. It's important to note the referee's position here. I know he's not in camera shot, however, he appears to be very straight on, looking through the back of number 7 Central Coast. So probably doesn't have a good angle on the incident. We spoke about in previous sessions about that X factor, looking through the tackle where you have some angle. So that angle ball close concept that we've spoken about in the past is critical here. So look, it appears that the referees missed the free kick here. That's probably also evident that the players have all stopped expecting a free kick. So we need to be mindful of also the body language of the players, that they've pretty much given up and expecting the free kick. However, the referee plays on. It's also important here to note that from a teamwork point of view, that if the referee has missed it and you're confident, this is where assistant referees and fourth officials excel, and they need to chime in with the communications equipment, or even the old style, just put the flag up and indicate that free kick to the attacking team.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll let it roll now. As you can see, hands in the air. Wasn't me, ref. Mariners regain possession. A couple of tackles fly in. Now back into transition. Ball stops. Bit of holding going on in the middle. And the referee identified that, and you can see him play advantage. Now, this is where the foul occurs, all right, where the whistle actually does go. Referee's done really well to make up ground, and as you can see, he's only kind of 9 or 10 yards away there on the internal angle to correctly identify this foul. Now, we're not talking about a red card situation here. Number 6 has committed the foul, but we've got these two defenders in front, so it's not a denying obvious goal scoring opportunity situation and a red card. It's going to be a yellow card. Now, Shelby, you and I have discussed whether this is actually a stopping a promising attack, or whether it's just the blatant reckless tackle. And you and I opted for probably the reckless tackle because that's the more serious offence, if you will. So both result in a yellow card, of course. So that's what we're looking at next. Now, Shelby, you'll take over. We can see this number 4 from St George in the way here of the referee coming in. So let's look at what happens next, and we'll take that apart. All right, so Shrubby, what's happened here is number 4's got in the way of the referee between the original challenge. Talk us through how to deal with this next little situation, mate.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can see that the red team's obviously very frustrated. That they feel that they should have had a free kick on the other side, the other end of the field. And referees need to identify that, look, okay, something's happened, and they need to be aware of these situations. This is the we talk about the smell of the game or the feeling of the match. Something has happened that they've probably missed, and now this is the result. We've had a cynical, reckless tackle, that we've had to deal with. And as you quite rightfully pointed out, the referees made up great ground in a good position with a clear view, good angle view, and coming into strong body language to administer a caution. This number 4 here is now standing in front of the referee to either, stop the referee from giving the caution or try to, get the referee's mind off the situation. But it's also important here that the referee concentrates and ensures that that number 6 and that player that he is going to caution, isn't forgotten about. We can easily lose concentration in these situations, and the player that we're going to caution is lost.
Yeah, 100%, mate. So he's kept his eye, as you said, on number 6, who's committed the foul. He knows where he's going. Number 4 has come into the way to either take him off the scent or probably more so looking at the body language, saying, what about the foul up there? And then we'll notice also that number 5 is going to come in on the scene as well. So we get into this situation here where the yellow card is out, but we have number 4 and number 5 in the way that it looks like they're the ones being cautioned, when in actual fact, we believe, or the viewer would believe, that number 6 is the one that's being cautioned. It looks like these two are the ones actually being cautioned. So it may very well be better to maybe not get the card out as early in this situation. In different situations, it is good to get the yellow card out early so everybody knows you're going to give the caution. I think in this situation, everyone's expecting it. There's no Mariners players running in to, try and convince the ref to give a yellow. So in that situation, maybe we discard this number 4 and 5, keep the card out, and take our number 6. Number 6, you and I are going out here to that neutral part of the ground just over here. And that allows that walking that 5-10 yards, just allows the temperature to come down, allows the players' emotions to come down, because it's quite heightened at the moment. And also, I think the referee, and I've certainly been there, we've probably been there, Strebre, when our emotions also are starting to boil over a little bit. By taking that time and doing it slowly, it allows everyone just to calm down, and we can administer the caution nice and calmly without these other two getting in the way.
Yeah, you're spot on, Benny. The key there is to remain calm. It's very easy to get caught up in that moment, and try to be pushing players, etc., to get through to that number 6. But in this situation, we also need to be mindful that by having that yellow card up in the air, creates confusion as well. So players, spectators, coaches in this situation are not sure. There's uncertainty as who's received the caution, and when we play it through, that creates even more confusion for the next part of this clip. But in these types of situations, and it's also great and easy in hindsight when you're looking, at some clips to analyze. But it's need to remain calm. But in these situations, it's also, if you're going to identify any other player that's going to receive a caution, it's important to pull them out of that situation, to isolate them, to make it clear to everyone that this is the next caution in this sequence of events.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, as you mentioned, we'll let it roll here. The whistle goes, and it looks like that the referee's pointed to the yellow card again, and it looks like potentially number 4 has been cautioned, or number 5, which is important because now the card's down. Number 4 over here continues his descent, and the referee rushes in with whistle tone that actually doesn't diffuse the situation. It actually exacerbates it. It kind of escalates what's going on. And it looks like from the maybe over the fence that number 4 has been cautioned potentially a second time. So that's that confusion that you were talking about. The body language of the player, the message hasn't really got through. So I think if we're doing it calmly, then the players will heed that advice, and we know who's been cautioned. So that's that one.
I think in that situation also, Benny, you hit the nail on the head. We need to remain calm, and if it is going to be the next caution for dissent for that number 4, a better approach might be to walk outside of that area and bring that player to you, and that also gives an opportunity to let some air out of the balloon, right, and calm things down to avoid any other dissent that may occur, or potential confrontation of any other players running in.
Yeah, 100%, mate. So look, I guess just for everyone, in summary, really 4 main points. The first one was around that positioning. All right, for that very first foul, we've got to be able to look through the challenge or look between the challenge with that A for angle, ABC. The second one is that foul identification. If we're getting our positioning right, we identify that foul. And that's the old adage of if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. All right, so we can give the foul there and we might save those other cautions down the further down the track. The third bit is that teamwork, that if we notice our referee has missed something, if you're the fourth official or the assistants, that's where you can help out, either in the initial foul or if the cautionable player is, mistaken. And then lastly, that player management, that situation management. Those three things that hold, the number 4 getting in the way, number 4 and 5 in the way, the caution for number 6, and then the caution for number 4. All of those things happen very, very quickly. All right. So that player management, that situation management, the calmer and the more composed that we deal with that, the better off that's going to look for the game. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We're here to run the game calmly. So
always
any
easy
last
to sit
thoughts,
back,
mate?
Benny, and always.
Absolutely. So, look, again, thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you, Strebre, as well for your input. We look forward to catching you guys on the next session for Next Level Refs.
Thank you.